and we can start. And first of all, for the folks, I spoke with this lovely lady 2 days ago. Was it 2 days ago?
2 days ago.
Right?
Yeah.
So we covered a lot of ground already before the recording. I think we spoke about, what was it? We spoke actually about a lot of things, right? We
Yeah.
spoke of, it was from we went from Negroes to Japanese shyness, from Argentinians to Italians, and there's many things in between.
It doesn't sound like very broad. Sound like a lot of stereotypes anyway. So.
Well, we can definitely continue with stereotypes. That's all fine with me. But you know what I didn't ask you? I think at least I didn't. What brought you to Latvia?
A cheap flight, actually.
From where?
From Milano.
Oh, from Italy?
Yeah.
So you were in Italy and you went to Italy because of a cheap flight as well?
No, I was in Spain.
All
so
right.
I say like, let's go to south of France, like for
Mhm.
1 week. It was like, so I went to the north of Spain. Then I went to, I don't know, Bayonne, that is very near the border. Then I went to Lyon. Then I went to Bordeaux. And I was like, let's keep going. And I went to Lyon and it was like, I'm so close to Italy, so I keep moving.
All right.
Then I went to Torino. And my mom asked, like, aren't you go to Venice? Like, maybe. Like, okay. And Venice is like 5 hours away. So I was like, well, okay, let's go. And on the way, I searched for flights, whatever, because I want to go to Russia. So it was like, let's go near Russia. Let's see what's happened.
Wait a second. So you at least wanted to go definitely to Russia?
Yeah.
But beforehand you wanted to go close to Russia?
Yeah, pretty much. I prefer to go by land all the time. I don't like flying because the long queue in the airport and the security is like so annoying.
So you drove by bus?
By bus, I will go by bus.
But how did you come to Riga?
I came like straight from the airport.
Hmm.
I don't like flying, but it's cheap sometimes. So I just took the flight from there, and then I'm going to Tallinn, I think.
By bus?
Yes, I think I already bought the ticket, so I'm going to Tallinn, and then I'm going to Finland, to Helsinki.
All right.
Then I'm going to St. Petersburg. So we'll see.
And after that, you'll just improvise?
After that, Moscow, and I think like center of Russia, because I probably will make a volunteering teaching English. So,
Is there something in the middle of Russia?
of course,
Really?
there's a big city, but it's industrial city is Magnitogorsk. So I'll probably go there
Oh,
to a school. So I'm using HelpX,
what's that?
like a volunteering page, like work away and stuff. So you can like exchange the staying and the food for some work. So
I think many people go there, right? With those volunteer works?
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were many friends in Spain. There are a lot
And what's
of
the
them.
website for that?
HelpX.
HelpX?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, you only pay
Are the-
like one-time fee just to like
Oh,
unlock it.
You need to pay?
Yeah, like 20 euros or something, like for lifetime.
Wow.
And so you can trust people and people can trust you. Like you're inviting them to your house. It's better when it's not like a lot of prank.
All right. So
Requests.
what's the term for the voluntary work?
Well, it can be up to 1 year or more. But in my case, it will depend on the time I am allowed to be in the country, which is 90 days.
And what afterwards?
I think I'll go to South Korea.
Wow.
To Busan. I think I have another. I mean, I have seen they have another option there to like in a conversation school.
So specifically for English teaching in South Korea.
Yeah, I mean, it's good because I can get like some experience, can add it to the resume because there are a lot of options with farms. But you want that, like I was working in a farm, like I was the best. No.
Yeah.
But you can say like, no, I was working with kids in a school, so it can be good for a work experience. And
So you well sort of you have planned out all year.
in theory, like it can change like any time, but in
Oh,
theory, at
so the
least I
South
have
Koreans
options.
don't know that you are coming yet, right?
I have talked to them,
Ah.
but I told them like I was going like in 2-3 weeks, like if it was possible,
Hmm?
because I would love to be in spring there because it's beautiful. But
Wait a second. What's the climate in South Korea?
Hmm?
Isn't it always somewhat warm?
No,
Really?
No.
South Korea.
Yeah, it is like Japan, like it is.
I don't know
They
what's
have
it
like
like in Japan.
4 seasons too.
Really?
So right now it's winter, and in like 2-3 weeks it's the spring. So the cherry blossom and very beautiful.
All right.
And the summer is supposed to be like hell, very humid, very warm.
Yeah, that's what I would expect all year round.
No,
Just
no,
to be warm and.
no, because it's like the center. It's like that climate you get in Vietnam or Cambodia or Thailand.
But I think Vietnam doesn't have any snow.
Exactly. I mean, it's tropical.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of climate that you get there, like all the time warm and humid. South Korea, they have 4 seasons too.
All right. So now I've updated my climate knowledge,
Your geography and stuff, yeah.
I suppose. What are your impressions of Riga or Latvia, but generally Riga?
It's very nice. I mean, I only been to Riga and the other city that I forgot the pronunciation.
Jurmala.
Jurmala, thank you. And it was very beautiful. I mean, it was like shocking for me because I never seen like a frozen beach. Like it's very weird.
Is it frozen?
Yeah.
Frozen now?
Absolutely, very frozen. So it was like, whoa, I never seen that. So I was thinking about what we talked yesterday about, like why people travel. And it's like, I never seen that. So it's like, well, for you it might be normal to see the snow, to see, I don't know, the flowers at a certain time of the year. But for me, it's like, I never seen the snow. So, I mean, I've seen it in Japan and stuff, but before, I don't live with that, the change of seasons. So it's very interesting when you feel like...
You've seen snow, it's just the one you snort. Not that you ski on.
I haven't seen it.
Come on,
I never seen it
Well,
myself.
how long have you been living in Colombia?
Like all my life, 18 years. More.
And you've never seen that kind of snow?
Yeah, I
What?
haven't.
What?
I'm a spoiled girl, sorry. Very lonely and stuff, so no.
I would imagine that should be almost like... Wasn't that there that the Incas or something like that actually used it for rituals and stuff like that? Or the leaves?
The leaves are still used. Like in Bolivia, they chew it because it is so high. Like in La Paz, it is like 3,000 meters above sea level that you feel like the sickness. So they chew it and you feel better with that. You also use like tea, and it's very good. Yeah.
That kind of
still in Peru, in Bolivia, they use it very often, and I think in the north of Colombia too.
I was always thinking about Colombia as just a place for cartels and model contests.
Well, I agree, but
what's the third I can add that would be typical for Colombia?
I don't know.
What's the landscape there? Is it even, or do you have mountains and?
We have many different landscape. I mean, we do have like I don't know how you call. Like really high mountains with the ice top, whatever.
Oh, so you have seen, or at least you had the opportunity to see snow.
Like very far away. Like sometimes they are closed because usually there is active volcanoes, so they don't allow like going up there.
I see.
Yeah. So yeah, you have mountains. We have like deserts. Sorry.
And probably deserts as well.
As well, yes. And beaches normally. I know a lot of things because you see in the geography you have the Caribbean Sea and the Atlantic Sea because we are divided by Panama. So
wait a second, wasn't Panama actually made up?
Made up.
Well, in the 20th century or so.
I don't know.
What's the history of Panama?
I don't know if it's artificial or if it's.
I think they had just a political fluke.
Maybe, but still, you have like the division from Caribbean Atlantic. So.
Mm-hmm.
So very beautiful beaches and some small island and the jungle, of course, the Amazonian jungle. So it's very
Amazon
nice.
Is also in Colombia?
Yeah, Colombia, Peru, and Brazil.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, and what kind of landscapes have you visited yourself?
I don't travel in Colombia. I don't like it.
What was your place in Colombia?
It's Pereira. It's very near the center. I mean, I was born like a bit south. It was Cartago, but it's like a very small town. So it's like, meh.
So what's interesting around there?
If you ask about Colombia, I would say nothing. So
really,
yeah. I mean, people love it. I just don't.
So compared to Japan, let's say you went to Japan, what did you see that you missed in Colombia, and what did you miss in Japan from Colombia?
I don't miss anything from Colombia actually. Maybe the family sometimes.
But your mother travels with you?
No.
I mean, what did you say about the Venice thing? What you saying
No, it
from
was only
Colombia?
WhatsApping.
Ah,
And
I see.
like, oh, you're in Italy, so you're in Italy, you should go to Venice. It's like, okay.
All right. Yeah.
So they are actually from being in Colombia, like back from Japan. It was like the organization, the timetables, like very strict. People is very polite in general, very respectful. You feel safe. Everything's clean, so I like that.
Do you think that Japanese could actually learn something from Colombian as well? Colombian people.
In theory, I mean, because of the suicide rate and whatever, like they are depressed very easily. So maybe because of that, but because it's supposed to be one of the happiest countries on earth. Like people is very
Japan?
no Colombia.
Colombia is one of the happiest
cheerful
countries?
and whatever.
What?
In theory,
Really?
yeah.
I thought Danish people are the happiest.
Yeah. But I mean, not the top, but probably top 10, top 20.
Really?
Like that. Yeah, but I guess that's very common in very warm countries because people doesn't have to worry about the snow and the dying
I
or
guess
freezing.
so. I guess so.
So they can be always in the street, like having a beer with friends or whatever. So it's nice.
Does Colombia have a carnival?
Carnival?
Like Brazil?
Yeah, plenty. I think there's 3 or 4, like in different cities, like
Wow.
Barranquilla, in Pasto, and Medellin.
But
Cali.
no big football team, right? Colombia, not really, because Argentina, Brazil, football is quite.
Well, they are very fanatics about it, like the internal football teams, like Once Caldas, Nacional, whatever, and they are very hooligans about it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, horrible, but
That's always the case.
and we have like the football players like James Rodriguez and in the past like Higuita and whatever. I don't know. You like football, soccer, whatever?
Well,
So
I
you shouldn't
used
go,
to watch at least those big major football
Yeah.
games. Well, nowadays it's not really that interesting to me.
probably saying something
But I
wrong.
at least know
But
that
James Rodriguez is, I don't know if he's in Barcelona or Real Madrid, I don't know. For me, it's the same. It probably kill me, people hear that.
so it's a big Colombian football player, you were saying?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
And in the past, like the Reneguita and Pio Valderrama, is like the blonde guy with a lot of curls, like in the 90s. Like
Ah.
he was very big back then, but I don't like football either. So but I know it's popular.
Hmm. So wait a second. You actually chose to come to Latvia just because you saw a cheap ticket?
Yeah, I pretty
What a
much
quirky decision.
never heard of the country before. Sorry, probably just maybe in geography, like back in school. But
Yeah.
it was nice. I mean, I just read I was safe. It was okay. It was not like
Where did you read that?
I know internet. I mean, he's not going
Do
like
you,
to.
do you have some specific sites where you go specifically to know whether or not it's safe?
I'll sometimes read advisor and stuff like to see like the forum of people saying like, oh, it's okay. You can just be aware of pickpockets and whatever. Like, okay, but it's not like going to Vietnam or I know it's a bit dangerous there or India sometimes. So.
It's difficult to imagine. I mean, those people are so small. How could they be a threat?
You're so like racist.
But aren't they small?
I mean,
I would think
they
so.
can be small, but you have a gun or you have a knife.
I think a gun it would be too expensive for them.
Damn, you're
Think about
so-
it. Think about the bullets. One bullet would cost too much. It's just path, or hope you have something in your pocket. Otherwise, I'm broke.
No, I
Right.
don't think so. I don't think it's that way. That extreme.
Well, but have you been to one of those countries?
Not yet, but it's because of that. I mean, they
Ah.
are rather cheap, but I prefer to be places that I can feel safe because I like to just walk around. And
Well, then Thailand is probably one of the best places for you, right? Because
it's-
Thailand is
it's very cheap,
tourist
but-
oriented.
But it's very dangerous too, like Indonesia and stuff. Like,
Well,
those-
Indonesia. I don't know
both
about
countries.
Indonesia, but when you would go to Thailand, you would just choose the most tourist-packed places, and you'll be good.
I don't like it, but well, I mean, I don't like the tourist places because they are too crowded. And since Thailand is
So
warm,
that's why you go to the middle of Russia.
yeah, of course, it's super warm and.
Have you ever drunk vodka?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, I do like alcohol. I mean, I'm not very a heavy drinker, but I like it.
Tequila was from Mexico, right?
Yes.
So does Colombia have some spirits for themselves?
Yeah, it's aguardiente. But I don't like it. It's like I don't remember. Like, I don't know what it's made from.
With some hard liquor.
It's very like burning.
Yeah, then.
Yeah, it's like 45, 50 degrees. So like super hard.
Yeah.
Super strong.
So yeah, if you go to Russia, I would expect you.
But vodka is nice.
To get some.
Absolutely, I love vodka.
You love vodka.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. You tell that to the Russians; they'll be happy.
Probably.
So, what do you think? Actually, you came from Italy. Before that, you were in
France.
In France. Now you're in the Baltics.
Yeah.
So, what's the contrast? What's the difference? What's the commonalities for you?
I guess the difference is people. People is not so warm and so flirtatious as in Italy.
I suppose so.
For instance, I have some accounts like for dating sites and stuff, and like when I was in Italy, it was like 30, 40 messages a day, and here it's like 1, 2. Like maybe they don't use the same site.
I would imagine.
But it's different.
What kind of site are you talking about?
No, you don't say that on. No, just kidding. But anyway.
Do you mean a local one, a Latvian one?
No.
Ah.
But in general, I mean, in Spain, it was like, okay, 1, 2 messages a day. France, the same.
I guess
but
it depends.
Italy was like, whoa.
I guess it depends on how big the country is. Because yeah, in Latvia, if you would ask me, I wouldn't know a thing about it. About
but still,
most popular sites or
even
whatever.
among Italy, France, and Spain, you see a lot of difference in people and the food and the.
Well, Italians more like this, right? And I don't know about Spaniards. Well, the French. What's the difference between French? They just eat cheese too much, right?
And wine and stuff, yeah. But now they're a bit rude, I think. I mean, in general, of course, I want to be so stereotypical as you, but they are not so polite or so warm as Spanish or Italians.
Because I also ask you Spanish people what they think of French people. They basically tell me, well, yeah, the French are the rich neighbors.
Yeah,
right? And then the French say, well, the Germans are the rich neighbors.
Of course.
Right, and so.
The Germans say, yeah, we rock, and that's it.
I don't know what Germans actually think about themselves. I usually, when I speak to Germans, I usually just talk about them, and it's sort of I don't know what's it called, usually a gated community. You basically, after school, you know where you will probably work for many years.
Yeah, probably.
And I've had engineers telling me that, oh yeah, since we chose this, it means that we would really have a difficult time if we would like to do other things.
Yeah.
Because we already chose that and that in our school, and after that in our internship, and then it's about.
Yeah, I think Japan is the same. Like they have like the box in the mind, something like that.
Yeah, I guess.
But
so.
Anyway, people is like that because they are afraid of making mistakes. So if you choose a career, I don't know how people choose a career. Like I have to study this and do this for the rest of my life. I don't understand how they do it.
I remember somebody.
Because they say like, no, I can change, but they don't. Because
I remember somebody told me that I think it's German. Yeah, told me that they choose. Either it was after the 6th or the 9th grade, which type of education they will get, and afterwards, according to that, if they will get into the university or not.
Okay.
Which is, I never heard of it, because here we have sort of the same. We have the differentiation between classes.
Yeah.
But after all of them, you still can go to the same university for the same program.
It's very complicated for going into medicine, I think. I've read, I think, that to go to medicine you need to get.
I think you would be quite qualified for a medical position.
No, be a psycho.
No.
But still, you have to have a lot of qualifications before, like from high school, like a high grade and a high results.
Gymnasiums and stuff like that, they have the gymnasium system, which means that if you are a gymnasium student, you have many opportunities. If you're not from the gymnasium, then it's smaller, which is crazy. Because we have gymnasiums as well in Latvia since around, 10 years or so, but we still can go whatever you like.
Yeah, that's the idea. Like you're free. Like when you're in high school, you don't know anything about life.
Yeah, that was what's funny about it. Because at that point, nobody knows.
I want to be a writer. Like writers, they don't easily get a job. So
I would say so.
You become realistic over time. Like, no, I cannot be a circus. I don't know.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. So wait a second. You are here for 3 days, right?
Yeah, I'm living
So,
like in
What did you
5
do?
hours.
What did you do?
Only walking
Latvia?
around pretty much alone.
See,
because I always travel alone because I like it.
So
that-
the old town.
Yeah, very beautiful.
So the beach.
Yeah. And the turtle.
And the what?
The turtle statue in
The turtle?
yeah.
What's
there's,
that?
The turtle. I think it's pronunciation. I hate it. It is like an animal statue in Jurmala, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know where that is.
It is near the beach, like.
A statue of a turtle.
Yeah.
Turtle. All right. I guess it might make sense, but I don't know why.
Yeah, but I guess it's very beautiful in the summer. It's not very woof. Like right now, it was weird seeing like all the ice on the beach, but otherwise that's okay. But it's not like going in, you can swim and stuff. It might be very fun in the summer or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, by the way, do you expect any stereotypes when you go to some new place? Let's say if I would decide to go to, well, like let's just choose Thailand, right?
Mm.
I would expect many tourists
Yeah,
and many she-males probably.
probably.
Yeah. So you never know, right? If I would meet you in Thailand, I was like, I'm not sure, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I think that's a fact. That is not a stereotype, but that's very common. Like in the same, like we go to Russia, a lot of people drink vodka, but it's because of the weather. I mean, it makes sense. It's not like
I don't know if it's because of the weather. I
they're
never
super
thought
cold
of it.
and
Hmm?
they are super cold and alcohol helps.
Do Swedish people drink a lot of alcohol? Probably
yeah, and
not.
Polish, they drink a lot.
Polish for sure, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's the
Swedish,
it's the
Finnish people, I don't know.
I don't know.
I know they have quite big prices for
Yeah.
alcoholic drinks.
Maybe because of that they don't. In Colombia they had like a lot of taxes, additional taxes for alcohol, so people doesn't drink too much. But I don't think it helps too much.
But what would you actually, when you are in South America, what would you actually drink at all?
Beer, like you're hot, so you need something to refresh.
Yeah, you have some many opportunities. You could probably drink from a fruit all day, right? From a coconut, just right?
Pretty much in the beaches, yeah, but in the mountains is different.
Do really people live in the mountains though?
Yeah, I mean you have cities in the mountains.
Because then you should have some nice jokes about people who live in the mountains.
Yeah, we do.
So, is it related to animal use?
Not really.
No. So what are those jokes then?
I don't know, like they are cold and they are boring, like in comparison to people who lives on the beach or coastal areas, whatever.
No, that's so PG-13 from you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cause wait a second, where was it? I once saw a Vice piece about I don't know. Have you ever seen some Vice episode?
No, I don't think so.
Nowadays they have plenty of they have Vice News, Vice something, Vice that, but at that time I think it was just Vice. So it's a brand of journalism, and they made those, I don't know, half an hour documentaries and stuff like that. And I remember, but I don't know if it was about Colombia. Let me just
Oh, we
let
do
me
have
just
like
check.
a stereotype with the people from the coast that they do fuck the donkey, like female donkeys.
Colombia?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
But it's not from the mountains. It's actually from the beach areas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know why.
Because I thought it was a secluded region, so
And I know it happens,
That's why-
but I don't know how often it is.
it was so funny. That episode was so funny. Let me just check for people who might be interested.
And there are actually some
Colombia.
videos about that, like kids getting caught doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Here's the video. Donkey sex, Colombia's most bizarre tradition.
It is a tradition.
Nice.
My God. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That's true. But it is from the coast. It's
So
like
funny.
41 degrees areas. Super hot.
So yeah, that's how journalism works, right? You
Super
report the
professional,
most
yeah.
important things. That's how it's supposed to be done.
That information must be known about the whole world.
Come on. That's
it's
super
culture.
important. That's more important than Trump has anything to say.
Yeah,
For
absolutely.
sure. But yeah, what you know what I wanted to ask you about Japan.
What?
What do you definitely not like about Japan or Japanese people besides the timidness?
No, pretty much that. Like they are too much work focused. Like if you want to work, you need to work like 12 hours a day. Like the contract won't say 12 hours, but if you leave early, we'll be like, why are you leaving? Like the bus
Are you
still
sure?
here. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
How you can be sure that that's the case all over? Do they tell you? Do you see
yeah, a
that?
lot of workers, like especially like foreigners, say like that's the case. Like if you stay there, if you want to work in a Japanese company, they will be like looking at you if you leave earlier, because you're supposed to be work focused and you're supposed to be enthusiastic about it. Like most people is.
Crazy.
So it's culture. And afterwards, you go out for drinks with your coworkers, even if after 2 day work to 12 hours they working. So it's like.
But is it really hard work? If it's 12 hours, it might be really, really light
It
work.
depends. It might be even a factory.
And maybe they get really, really well paid.
Not really. Just normal. But it's like the.
I thought Japan is really, really expensive for everything.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they get paid
Like a banana could cost you $3 or something like that.
something sometimes, but not a banana, but maybe strawberries or something like that, something more exotic. But they get well paid in comparison to what you pay for like rent or food. But it's not like, oh, I'm a millionaire because I work 12 hours a day, because they usually don't pay like any extra hours or stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's normal. So when you go as a foreigner, you're competing with that kind of mindset. So you have to do the same or better, or
But wait a second. If you go to Japan to teach English, right? You don't have any real competition, right? At least not local.
no, it's usually
Because
like foreigners.
that Japanese, they literally cannot spell the word L, right?
Yeah, literally.
Because I remember when I have Japanese guests here, the Rauris.
They don't have
Right.
the sound in the hiragana thing.
So you win.
In theory, I mean,
Oh, wait,
there are a
wait.
lot
How
of
do
foreigners.
you pronounce your name properly?
My name? Joycelynn.
Just Joycelynn?
Yeah.
Sounds too English.
Yeah.
But is your Colombian
Yeah.
name really English?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, there are a lot of actually.
Why? I would imagine you are like, I don't know, Juanita or something like that.
Probably, but no, it was the way my mom.
Joycelyn.
Yeah, I don't know.
So what's the name of your mom?
No, she actually has land name. It's like Luzari.
Yeah, sounds more.
Yeah.
Sounds more like
fitting.
it.
And actually, a lot of common names are very similar to the Russian names or Slavic names.
Now you are getting
Like-
out of hand.
Like Natalia.
lady. What?
Natalia.
In Colombia?
Yeah,
Natalia?
very common.
So funny. Natalia. Or maybe it's not even a Russian name then.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I've heard it like a lot of times.
Maybe the Russians just stole it from, I don't know, some Spanish.
Probably. Who knows?
Natalia. Yeah. Would be weird if there's really a connection between Colombia and Russia.
I have no idea, but whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know why my name. Anyways, do you know Spanish?
I would say not at all, but probably I could understand some basic conversations. Probably. Because it's so... I guess it's so common to many other languages.
Yeah.
And then again, it's so basic in Latin, I guess. Right? So yeah, I would imagine that I could understand something. But yeah. Can you say in Spanish that you like vodka?
Me gusta el vodka.
Me gusta?
Uh-huh.
Me gusta?
El vodka.
Why L? El vodka like the vodka?
Yeah.
Me gusta el vodka?
Yeah.
Oh, see.
Yeah, you don't say me gusta vodka.
So you start with that when you start teaching Russian. You start that. Me gusta el vodka. That will be the first lesson.
But the thing is, like, people usually don't want to learn Spanish, so it's easier with English.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Like, it's not so... Maybe they want to, but it's not so useful. in comparison to English. So English
Oh,
is
it's probably
separate.
in the English-speaking countries. Spanish is the next language to learn
Yeah,
almost.
probably. And
guess so.
I've heard like Germany they want to learn Spanish, but anyway,
Well, that sounds
Spain is
ridiculous.
next door.
I would imagine they would need to learn French.
And Chinese.
Would you like to speak Chinese? I don't.
Yeah, I would.
I think even the Chinese don't want to speak Chinese.
It's very hard. Though.
Mandarin, at least, yeah.
I mean, speak it is okay, but like read it or write it, God, with the kanji thing, ugh, no, horrible.
Wait a second, wasn't Esperanto or something similar with Spanish?
No, Esperanto is like they just made it up.
Yeah, but wasn't it somehow related to
No.
the Latin
I
structure?
think it doesn't. They just invented it and with another roots or whatever.
Anyway,
Anyway,
yeah. Do you like actually? Well, if you have seen at this time of year in the Mediterranean and the Baltics, and now you're going up to Finland, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Do you like the change of climate, or would you actually like the Mediterranean climate still?
well, I thought I liked the cold, but sometimes it's really cold and I didn't expect it, and I just imagine like -20 would be like.
Do you have any winter clothes?
Not really, like just.
You
mild ones.
would like to overthink that Finland trip then.
But it's not too cold right now.
In Finland?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Actually, check. Helsinki is like this, like -2 probably. And I checked like in a city.
You need to double check on that.
I don't know.
For sure.
I don't know why, but Russia is held right now. I mean, too cold. The Moscow and St. Petersburg they are okay, but center of Russia, I saw like -17, which is horrible.
I think we need to get back to those stereotypes, girl.
Why?
Yeah. It seems to me that you as a traveler, you are more able to speak about different cultures in a humorful way than anybody else.
No, I think it's easier when you don't actually see them because you believe the stereotype. When you go to places like, okay. For example, in the north of Italy, people is just very relaxed, very calm down. It's like in the south, they are crazy.
What do you mean crazy? I think they're just poor.
Yeah, but
They
mean
have
like
a lot of time
in
on
a
their
Latin
hands.
American way, they're too flirtatious, they are too overconfident and stuff like that.
I can imagine how it looks like Italian dude being confident or overconfident rather.
Why?
Well, it's difficult for me to imagine what that mean.
It
Well,
means
what
like
sort of random behavior would that
it means like a
entail?
really ugly guy, very short, very fat. He will be like approaching to you and
But
say,
then,
you know what?
But then he probably has a good sense of humor.
Probably, usually, like Latin Americans and stuff, like they are very funny. Usually, I guess that's the compensation for the lack of good looks sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't like the Latin or Italian or Spanish stereotype physically. I prefer the Nordic blonde and blue eyes stereotype.
Well, wait a second. I think Italians do have blondes.
Yeah, some, but usually they're just like dark skin, like tan, and curly hair, like something like that, black hair.
So the same as Spanish, right?
And Latin America.
Could you tell apart a Spanish dude from an Italian one? Because
Yeah,
I probably
kinda.
couldn't.
Kinda, but like different in the eye shape, in the I don't know, the face, the nose. Sometimes it's not too similar, but they are both brunettes and usually short.
You know, you have actually probably the what's it called, the Celtic gene, right?
I don't know.
Well, the ginger gene or something like that, right?
I didn't know.
I think it was related to the Irish or the Celtic.
Probably. A lot of witches died.
So then you would actually quite fit in with your Joycelynn.
Probably.
That's probably a nice name for an Irish girl.
But I don't think so. They have such weird names. Really hard to pronounce.
I think the family name might be difficult.
That's true. And the name itself is hard too. I mean, Joycelynn, I think you will fit more in like a British thing.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Because I don't know, Irish and British are very different. I didn't know.
Have you been there?
No, sadly no. I need a visa, so
What?
Someday I need a visa, so someday I'll do some work about getting that.
So wait a second. You've been in Europe. You've been to Spain,
Yeah.
France, Italy,
Mhm.
and Latvia.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought you came all over the
I
the
would,
perimeter and then came to Latvia.
No, not really. I mean, I don't like mainstream places. I would love to go to Germany and Berlin and Vienna and stuff, but I feel like, nah, it's too mainstream.
Wait a second. So you coming to Latvia? You are being so fringe?
Of course.
Really?
I'm a weirdo. I would prefer to go to Romania, I think, than going to I don't know.
Wait a second.
Austria.
Wait a second. I told you already. The Romanians warned me about Romania.
I know.
Yeah. I think, but if you would ask me, I would just imagine that Romania is full of gypsies.
Probably.
That's about it.
But no, I don't think so, actually. I've read about it, and it's just a minority, and they hate it too.
Who?
Like, the same Romanians say, like, they are just a minority of society, and we don't like it. We are not proud of it. Like, same in Colombia, when they say, like, no, they're drug addicts, and they're, like, rapists, and whatever. There's a minority of people.
You mean the rapists?
Yeah, the rapists and the drug addicts and the robbers. They're a minority, but they
I'm not
exist.
seeing where you're getting with this.
Like when you see, like, when you say, like, this stereotype, like, no, if I go to Romania, I'm gonna get robbed or smoked or whatever.
No, I'm just saying when you go to Romania, you'll see gypsies.
Not really. It's a minority in there.
Oh, I think, yeah, actually, Romanians have their ties with Italians, right?
I don't know.
I think so.
The language is very similar.
Don't be surprised if you will see some short, ugly, fat Romanian dudes coming up.
I'm not trying
Hello,
to.
it's me.
I'm not trying to hook up with a Romanian.
Oh, but Romania should be fine. It's a big country.
Yeah.
It's just that, yeah, Romanians somehow. I mean, if you ask a German dude, for instance, about Germany, he will tell you some nice things, some not so nice things, but somewhere in balance. But those Romanians I've had, yeah, always, so corrupt, so almost like the war would be still going on over there.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, there are some places you wouldn't like to live in. Like, you like to travel and to be a tourist
But
and just to see.
But you are the best example of somebody who, let's say, grows up in one place and decides, this is not the place for me in the long term, and just decides to go around, look around.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not like you would still need to be stuck in one place.
Not at all.
Right?
That's what I mean. Like, I can't go to Romania because I'm not thinking, like, I want to get a contract there. No, I don't want to live there. I want to be 1 month or maybe 3 months or something like that, but that's it.
Yeah.
So if I was European, it will be easier because I can move around limitless time. But I have like 3 months. I need 90 days, the same. To be
wait a second,
around.
you have the visa?
It's not a visa, but I mean, we don't need a visa, but we have the possibility to be here 90 days without a visa every 180 days.
All right.
So
and what happens after the 90 days then?
you have to go back or go to another area. Like if I go to Russia, I'm already using another kind of visa. So I can go back to Europe after like 1 month if I want to.
It's a strange system.
Yeah, it is, but it helps, like, people won't overstay, like, to work or something illegally.
As if you would do some damage here.
I think so. I mean, you're stealing the job from other people. And for example, in Spain, it's very hard, the work situation right now. So they have more foreigners getting jobs instead of Spanish people. It won't be good for the economy anyway.
If I'm not mistaken, I've heard that Spain has a bad workplace situation at least for 10 years.
Yeah.
So I would imagine it's not really...
Yeah, but it was...
It's something blown up.
Yeah, but still, like, if you give priority to foreigners because they charge less or whatever, if they don't have documents, you can just exploit them. It will be easier, but that's not the idea.
I think some Latvians even at least went to Spain to harvest tomatoes or whatever.
Probably.
Yeah.
But still, the advantage you have, like, with the European Union is, like, you can go around and work whatever you want, and you don't need any documents. That's nice.
Exactly.
I envy that.
And that's why many countries don't really like Polish immigrants. because they are ruthless.
No, and
They-
Romanians too. Like
Oh,
in
yeah,
Spain,
probably.
there are a lot of Romanians who's like, no, they're just like people begging on the street. Okay, I don't know.
Begging in the street.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a stereotype with my
But
Spanish
wait a
friends.
second,
Told me
is Spain rich?
that it's
probably
richer than
not, right?
Romania,
Is it?
of course.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I would imagine Spain might have better roads, but
But at least they
On
are
the-
Schengen. Like Romania is not Schengen. I think it's the European Union, but it's not Schengen. I
it
don't,
should be Schengen.
I don't think so. I mean,
I think all of the European Union is Schengen
no,
plus Switzerland plus somebody else.
I don't know.
Are you sure?
Because
But
it is very
let's
weird.
just
Because
check.
from
We are
the
sitting at the internet and I'm not doing anything. It's just
from the
let me just
visa
check.
that I have, is like I can go to Romania, I can go to Cyprus, I can go to, what is it? I don't remember. Something like that, like 4 countries. So I can go to those 4 countries, but they are not.
I honestly don't know which one would be Romania. I'm guessing somewhere
Yeah.
around here.
The
This might
top
be
one.
Bulgaria.
Yeah, Bulgaria.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right.
And
So
Croatia. Yeah.
so they are working to implement it,
Yeah.
whatever that means.
Because the thing is they are not Schengen because of the border security. So since they don't have like the same kind of strict security the other countries have, they kind of like
What kind of strict security?
I don't
couldn't
know,
imagine.
like passport control and stuff.
And who's this? Oh, I think they have just a problem because of this gap.
Exactly. So that's the door to enter the Schengen area.
Yeah.
So if they don't have like the extra security, they will be full of people, undesirable people for them.
Oh, look, they're even obliged to join the Schengen area. It's not like they have a choice. Oh. Before fully implementing, each state must have its preparedness assessed.
Exactly, border visas, whatever. So since they don't have
Yeah, but
it,
I mean, those
they're
countries
just-
should be so corrupt. It's just so easy to bribe anybody who needs bribing.
probably. Why are you so full of stereotypes? What happens to you? You have a
I
trauma?
just take the data that the Romanians gave me. I'm not adding anything. But I don't know if bribery should always be bad, or at least perceived to be bad.
No, I think it is bad.
Really? And think about it this way: if you have the opportunity to change something quickly with a bit of cash, it could actually mean that you could bribe for good causes.
Yeah, but the system fails. Like if you get a lot
Because those good cause people don't bribe.
of exactly.
They feel they are above the moral code,
course.
and then they lose out. Such a double standard.
Yes, double moral like religion and stuff.
What's the situation in Colombia with the religion? You said you're an atheist.
Yeah.
I guess that's a minority then.
Most of them like Catholics and
Are they real Catholics?
no,
'Cause I would
no
imagine
one's
South
a real
American-
Catholic.
Yeah, because I would imagine Roman Catholics. Southern American Roman Catholics would be totally different from,
No,
let's
it's
say,
exactly the
Polish
same.
Polish Roman
It's
Catholics.
exactly the same. No one is a real Catholic. Everyone cheats and lies, and they just go to church and say like, "I'm sorry," and they repeat and repeat.
Yeah, that's good to hear. That's affirming.
In Spanish, there's a saying like "El que reza y peca empata." So it's like if you pray and you sin, and so you're making a match, so you can keep doing it all the time.
Oh, so you keep a balance then.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, what a nice logic.
Yeah, but I actually were to a few. Like I was in service in Spain. I was in service in Italy. I was in service in France.
What
Just
does that mean in
like
service?
to go to
Sounds
the
so
church and to
sounds so naughty.
No, like service is called like when you go to church like on Sunday and they are having like the lectures. I don't know how it's called besides
Why
service.
would you be? Is that a paid job or something?
No, I mean I just go to see, to compare, but it's like the same. The only difference was here when I went to the Orthodox church, it was so different. Like I never been.
Oh,
to-
wait a second. You just mean that you went to a church, or
Yeah,
did you?
like when they went praying and stuff.
All right.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
called
misunderstood.
service. I don't know why it's called service, but whatever.
No, all right. So basically, you visited a church.
But when having the
All right, I see the procedures. Yeah,
the procedures.
Yeah. All right, I got it.
The display and the performance.
Because I thought you were almost like an assistant to the priest or something like that.
No.
Ah.
It will be like an inside job and a spy or something because I don't believe it. So it was very different here with the Orthodox Church. Like they.
I think I've never been here. Here, you mean in Latvia, right?
Yeah, in that huge church,
So how was it?
Here. It was weird, but it was the church is
Did
very
you
beautiful.
see a lot of old women with those silly, what's it called, those,
I know,
around their
the
heads?
hair cover and stuff,
Yeah.
And the skirts.
I never understood those. Never.
I don't know. If you want to visit, you're supposed to. I had to wear something to be able to get in because it's super like.
So they hand it out to use some. Really?
Yeah, they
that's
lend
so
you.
Interesting.
And the church or the service itself, it was so different. Like people was all the time like 100 times.
Yeah, I noticed that with.
And bending and bending. It was
I noticed that with Orthodox. Well, basically Orthodox would mean probably Russian.
Yeah.
Right. Christians. Yeah, and in prison when I was bringing the inmates to the chapel. Yeah, they constantly, and it was, hey, and one is enough, right?
Yeah, exactly.
How many do you need?
And they were standing all the time, and the priest was saying weird stuff. I don't know, and they were like.
Did the I don't know what's it called, the headmaster or whatever? Did he have a beard?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were chanting all the time. I was there like 40 minutes. It was like. This never ends.
You've seen more of Orthodox Church than me, then.
Yeah. And I saw like the Anglican Church too. I didn't even know that existed.
In Latvia?
Yeah.
Where?
There, I don't know, one of the historical area. I don't know. There's an Anglican, very beautiful Anglican church.
I don't know actually what's the difference between Anglican and Roman Catholic.
No idea, but it was in English. Everything was in English. So.
That's convenient.
And they were just reading the Bible in North. It seems very.
And God made us. Amen.
Yeah, it was very similar to Catholic anyway. But the Orthodox was like, what the heck?
Yeah. So I guess you shouldn't get used to it if you will be teaching over there.
Yeah, I guess
Maybe. Get you some nice, I don't know, handkerchief or what's it called, to tie around your head. I guess that's the same principle then as the Muslims, to cover your hair.
Yeah, but they needed to do it all the time.
But I think, for the Muslims, it's a bit different, right? Because they just need to, for the woman not to be attractive.
I don't know, because they can have a lot of makeup and stuff.
Well, if you have just a slit to look through, you can be as makeup as you want. Why not? But yeah, I think that was the principle for them.
I don't know why.
Well, for the dude to not get distracted. Simple. Yeah, well, there is a logic to it.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't know if that's the same for the Russians then.
I don't think so.
With those, yeah.
But maybe. Out of respect, like you're a sex symbol if you show your hair.
See, I don't know whom I should actually ask about those things.
It's outdated anyway, I think. Because as the same as you say, like people change, but traditions continue, and they don't fit anymore. But I want to keep the tradition.
Oh, right, we talked about those traditions. Yeah.
They don't fit anymore, but they want to keep it. I don't know why.
Do you think that now that you've traveled almost half the world, do you think that traditions will still be a thing?
Yeah, but most rural areas, like very undeveloped areas, probably. I don't know if it's useful, but it's nice to see it. Like, oh, it's interesting. Like, you know, a bit of history and stuff, and you see how things were used to be done in the past.
Because I always think about traditions as the Inuit or the Eskimos, right?
Yeah.
Think about it. You are an Eskimo. You're freezing your behind off 24/7, right? And then some white dude comes here and tells you, well, actually, over at my place, we drive around, we get to the beach, stuff like that. Why wouldn't you go with him? Right? What's the thing that keeps you at that place? If you could objectively compare it to, you could definitely say a nice warm beach is better than the frozen fish you've eaten every day.
It's the same like with Amish people. And actually it's worse because they are
I guess
like
so.
voluntarily isolated. Like they are in the middle of a developed area and just like, no, we want to have a close society and only we marry on each other. And
And funny enough, there are descendants of German-speaking people,
yeah,
which goes against my point,
exactly. So your theory has a big flaw.
I guess. Yeah, that's called advancement.
So
right?
I don't know if they say like, no, I prefer to stay and freeze my ass all the time. I don't know. I don't know why. I guess
Because
it's
they
just-
definitely don't make the conscious decision like that. No, I know it's better there, but I'll stay here. They just don't make the decision.
probably do. Like we want to continue doing what my father did and whatever.
I should have some Eskimo on my podcast. That would be great.
I don't think they come here, but you
'Cause
have
it-
to go and search for them.
Maybe, but I wouldn't probably find Wi-Fi.
Probably. But you can just record and just come back and upload it.
Sort of. I asked actually Mormons to come to my podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, and they agreed. I don't know where they are.
So you don't have any reason to travel at all.
Well, look at it this way. I was traveling. The last time I was traveling, the last time I was traveling was for a conference. But besides that, the last time I was traveling was because I got paid to do that. Right? I literally got paid.
Lucky.
I got 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
Right? So it was sort of a vacation with pay. Right? All right, I can do that. But if you would ask me, would I like to travel? Can you offer me a private jet? Then we'll talk.
Babe, you're boring.
Because no, it's the same with you. I don't like those long queues. I don't like to
Yeah,
spend
true.
time just on silly things. Just because
I do like to spend time on a bus
I don't
and a
believe you.
train.
I don't believe you. Yeah, I think you are just too patient.
No, I'm not patient.
You are too patient.
I just like anticipation. I just like the seducing time. So it's like
But
the
it-
same with that.
But if there would be a teleport, you
Of
would
course,
use it.
I would use it.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I don't mean I wouldn't enjoy a better alternative. I mean, that's the best there is now. I prefer that to planes.
No,
usually.
private jet is the best. See?
Of course. I
See?
mean, alternative reachable for me. So
Well,
I cannot.
don't aim too low, right?
Right.
You'll
Of
get
course.
you'll get to your teaching position in Russia, and next you just off to the races.
Absolutely, I will just.
No, because Russia is full of oligarchs, right?
Of what?
Of oligarchs,
Probably.
right? So business moguls. Some you'll get yourself a oil tycoon or whatever.
Right.
Then yeah.
I'm not a gold digger though, so I'll have to be like very lucky. Like, oh, he's
All right,
super smart.
tell
so
me this. If let's say if the same Italian ugly short fat dude would come and he would be massively rich, would you not just consider a tiny micro fraction
I'm
second?
So superficial that I can't.
I don't believe you. There, I
No.
said it. I don't believe you.
You never believe me.
Because I can literally imagine the scenario where that small,
Yeah.
out of shape looking Mario comes to you and, hello, Joycelynn. Right?
This is my Ferrari.
Yeah, happy in.
No, I would imagine I have to get laid and
You would be you would be the Melania to that Trump.
No, I would imagine. Like,
Wait a
oh,
second, isn't Melania from Romania?
I think so. I'm not sure.
See, Romanians make it big, right?
Probably. But yeah, imagine just I have to get laid with that guy and I say like no.
Or maybe just a high-end job.
It's a well-paid
Well-
job though. If he's an oligarch. But no.
But that would be the most interesting story for you if you would go to Russia and meet some really rich dudes. What you do with them? It's up to you.
Of course.
But that you have met them, maybe partied with them.
Yeah, it's
No.
nice. Like I was to a VIP and they got me in a jet and we went to have a party in Dubai and
You got all your family out of Colombia into Monaco.
no, they wouldn't like to move.
What?
They hate the cold and
Well, you can get them to a warm place.
no, people I don't know. People is very attached to the country in Colombia. I don't know why. Usually. Like they are afraid of the unknown. Like very traditional families, of course.
Is that because there's just not too much to compare to?
It's likely, but otherwise they say, like, we miss the food and we miss the family with the rest of the family.
What is there to miss for the food?
I don't. I hate Colombian food.
No, but what is there so interesting? Let's say.
I don't know. They're just too attached to things. So it's like what they know is what they love. Other things is like they're okay.
Do you talk to your relatives about that?
I don't talk
About
to
their
my
mindset?
relatives, actually.
No, really.
I talk like once a week or something, like not too much.
Well, that counts.
Yeah, but it's like I'm okay, I'm alive, bye.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're a cosmopolitan girl then?
What?
A cosmopolitan girl.
Of course.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't have a home, sadly. I'm a homeless person.
Well, your home is where your heart is, right?
Exactly, but I don't have a heart, so I don't believe you. But you seem like you don't have a heart, I will guess.
No.
No.
I would say I'm fine. I would say, because I remember I met the one Finnish dude,
Yeah.
and it was so similar to me. That dude, his attitudes, his mannerisms, so
Yeah.
I thought, oh, look at that. I might be really some Finnish blood in me, perhaps, because actually, when I asked my mother, she had a German name, right? Her birth name is German, but I don't know, her grand something, father or something like that. She thinks he was from Finland, or at least the region.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to have some Scandinavian in me.
Yeah, I think you don't have a heart.
Well, we'll see about that, Missy.
I don't know. How would I see about that? I don't think so.
Well, do we have anything left? Here's the thing.
We have many things, but
yeah. I mean, we had a nice conversation the first day.
Yeah.
Right, but which we didn't record. And now, but not. Let's not get back to the Negroes, right?
No.
I don't even remember why we talked about them. Was it because of the racism?
Yeah.
But Colombia and Latvia doesn't have racism, right? Colombia is like Spanish people, right?
We have a lot of black people do, but
those are mixed, right? Probably
Yeah.
like Cuban looking, right?
part. There are some like jungle parts that they have a lot of.
Oh, you mean those savage people then?
Not necessarily. Like still, some areas have like civilized people in very dark skin. But
So are those being discriminated against?
yeah, sometimes, very often.
By
actually.
whom?
Let's
you?
say like when you go, of course. Let's say when they go to college and stuff, like maybe sometimes they get like different treatment. Like fortunately, the government gives a special treatment, like positive one. Like they can
That's the same as in America then.
They can get easily. They can get scholarships, whatever.
Sounds exactly like the affirmative action in America.
But some people is like very discriminative, like in the work area or dating, because most people like what they don't have. So since we do have like black people there, so we like the blondes and blue eyes usually. Like there's a gringo there, like an American is like, oh, he's so cute.
Yeah, but
Most
wouldn't you
girls
say?
will be like,
Yeah, but wouldn't you say that is not really racism or discrimination? It's just that there's a natural preference. That's about it. Think about it this way: you met that short, fat Italian dude, right?
Yeah.
And you just know instinctively, intuitively, well, that's not your preference.
Yeah.
Right? You don't feel bad, or you don't have any bad intentions towards that person in general. You just know that, it's not my preference, right? You don't have to justify your natural intuitiveness.
But you still have like some ideas like about the way they behave or about the way they speak, about their intelligence sometimes. Because I don't know if it's wrong or right or whatever, but sometimes we do. So in general, he's not like, he's not good looking for me. Just like he's not interesting, he's not whatever because he's
but think
dark-skinned.
about it this way: if you make a job application for waiter at a restaurant.
Yeah.
It's clearly something that you need to be a certain look,
Yeah.
right, and a certain behavior.
Absolutely.
So if you're that short, fat Italian dude, sorry, it's not really. It's sort of not really discrimination because it just goes against what is required.
Yeah, but
It's like I need to make a basketball team, so I definitely will pick the tallest ones, for instance, right? So everybody who's below a certain height, I'm sorry, but
yeah, but I mean for regular jobs like an office job, you can be like, no.
For what job?
An office job or something.
From what?
Office. Like
office. All right. Yeah.
Like sometimes they say like, no, I don't know why they have this kind of discrimination.
Because I wouldn't be able to imagine how that would work in Latvia, for instance. That somebody would be sort of discriminated not because of the specifics of the job, but just because.
Maybe because what we talked about yesterday, because of the religion, because they have like some kind of limitations.
But you probably would encounter a lot of sort of racism by Catholics then in Colombia, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So do the priests discriminate anybody? Probably not.
Sometimes, but I wouldn't say who. I couldn't say.
Well, could anybody just go to the church? Probably could, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the society, like in job things, maybe they have some discrimination.
Because I really think there is no place in the world where a Scandinavian blonde, full-lipped woman wouldn't be the preferential choice. I just think that's universally. It's like when you go to whichever place you go, but you feel the best at around 22 degrees Celsius. You didn't choose to, right?
Yeah, but why are they better?
It's just, well, no, not that they are better in any functional way that they are better. It's just that there's a preference that's almost encoded, and then the biologists and then the evolution researchers should look into that. What would be the beneficial part of having that kind of preference? But yeah, I would say it's just look, if that's a pyramid, that's the absolute top. But then again, all the pyramid is what counts.
But I think it changes. Like if you go
so everybody who's in the pyramid is good.
I think if you go to the Scandinavian countries, since everybody is blonde and blue-eyed, the new thing is like what's appealing. Like maybe the Latin girl, curvy and dark hair, dark eyes.
But I think even the most popular brunettes are many times with dyed hair, with at least highlights in their hair.
Not necessarily, but generally, like if you see like.
Well, what are the biggest movie stars, for instance, in the world? Most of them would be probably blonde, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So, but it's not that's not a coincidence, right? Because Hollywood, they do know what people like all over the world.
Yeah, for instance, but the Latin girls are very popular, like Penelope Cruz and Salma Hayek and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah, maybe 10 years ago.
I think she's from England.
I'm not sure that Salma Hayek was even all popular all around.
She was like not like she's
what
super.
What was her biggest movie?
I mean, she's not like the.
No, I'm not sure.
She's a sex symbol, yeah, more than a movie star.
Yeah, well, everybody will agree she looks definitely good, but it's just that if you put her next to, I don't know, Charlize Theron, right?
It's different.
There's no doubting that somehow or another, from old to very, very young, more people will say they prefer the blonde one.
Really?
Yeah, I
don't think so.
I would guess so.
I'll prefer the sexy one with the big boobs.
Yeah, but it's not about physics or the physique. It's much more, I think, about the color or the.
I don't know.
I think it's more about the color.
If guys, I think they
they
will think sexually and they say like, no, the curvy girl. She's from a warm country.
But see, that's what I meant. I didn't talk about any physical attraction. I spoke about the universal human preference for certain things, including people's hair color, people's eye color, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think blonde, light blue, stuff like that will just be universally agreed upon simply because they are so probably calming. Because white color is white color is also preferred more than black, for
Okay.
instance, right? So it would be the same kind of logic, and nobody really knows why would that be beneficial evolutionary.
I don't know if
But
there's any
still,
kind of study with
Charlie-
statistics.
But think about it; it would be so difficult to actually make a real comprehensive study. It's just
Yeah.
so impossible.
It
But
is subjective.
you can take the next best thing, which is Hollywood movies, because they are distributed all over the world, right? So they always choose those main actors, not because they are the most talented. They choose those who are most appealing or least offensive. For instance, if you would take, I don't know, what would be an example? If you would take a lead actress, which might be considered somehow offensive to the Arabic culture, they wouldn't do it, right? They take that which still would be, let's say, tolerated in the Arabic culture, liked in the European culture, and so they just discriminate in that way, but they really don't discriminate, right? They just know, all right, we did those tests, we did
the
those
market preferences, yeah, but
sort of.
I don't know.
That's why you see in those Chinese funded movies all sorts of weird Chinese type of scenarios put into it. You see some dragons where they don't really fit in, right?
Yeah.
Just because they know,
yeah.
China funded it, so we just made some China-friendly scenes.
Maybe.
So they appeal to those interests.
But I think it's cultural. I think, I don't know. Chinese guys like blonde girls?
I would imagine. Well, but again, I'm not talking about just physical attraction, because if you ask a dude
everything is physical attraction anyway.
well, if you talk about just physical attraction, I would say most guys would prefer most women. Period. That's about it.
Yeah.
But when you speak about, you have a little 5-year-old girl, you have a 60-year-old man, and an 80-year-old senior citizen, whatever its gender, right? I think most of them universally would just prefer to see a movie, to interact with somebody with light hair color, light eye color. And that's just because we like the daylight more than the night sky.
Makes sense. I say without any.
The sun is blonde, right? The sky is blue.
So life is discriminated already.
Well, at least when you see the colors, yeah. I don't know how it's for those who are colorblind.
Yeah.
Because they would be just based on their physique, probably.
Yeah, probably.
But other than that, I would imagine so. I think you're the first person who I talked about blonde people a lot so much.
Because I
Yeah.
like blonde people. Sorry, I mean the statistics. Sorry, shut.
Well, but you are probably experienced in different people, so you don't have any prejudices,
No.
or at least not that much.
No, I don't experience different people. I always experience the same kind of people all the time.
Come on, Japanese people are different than
Yeah, but
Colombian
only-
people.
Yeah, but only spoke to a few actually. They are very close. I was totally very shy, so not very easy to just like go to a bar and say like, hey, how are you? No. In Italy you can do that. In Spain, Latin America, you can't do that. Like,
I think it might be just the difference in, well, not the logistics, but still the preferences. Because maybe Japanese people don't go to bars that often in general.
Yes, you do. Absolutely. And karaoke and whatever.
See, but karaoke
like that.
is a bit different, right?
Not necessarily.
Because karaoke is not popular outside Japan, right?
Yes, it is, but not as much.
Yeah,
Like you can
that's what
find
I mean.
a karaoke
You can
thing
find a
in
karaoke
one-
bar somewhere,
one every
but
block.
but
Yeah,
Japan
yeah.
would be somehow.
Yeah, every
over the
block,
top.
pretty much.
That's what I
Yeah,
mean.
True. But no, you can go to regular bars and they're crowded. Like they're having beers and whatever and eating something. It's normal. Like maybe even alone or with a group of friends or something. It's okay. Or even discotheques.
Well, I don't know if I would. You asked me about traveling. I would probably enjoy being in Japan, at least to see the difference. But
Why not to China?
But I think I would probably get into travel fast, because they might be too rigid.
Nah, not necessarily.
Maybe you I don't know. Maybe you wouldn't be able to even spit on the street or something like that. You know,
Of course not. Like they're super polite and super organized.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Okay.
It was 1 hour 10 minutes. The time flies.
Yeah.
And if you count the previous conversation, I would say we did more than 3 hours probably.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I would have spoken yesterday. We say like, no, you needed to do it today. No, I don't want to do that. So I will have spoken more.
Any wishes for
About
your next journeys?
wishes?
Yeah, wishes that people could actually hear and root for you.
I know. It's complicated. It's a complicated stage of my
I'm a
life.
complicated man.
It's a complicated stage of my life anyway. Like about what to do next, what to study. Like I have a lot of things in my mind, but no wishes. Like just ideas and random ideas.
Really random or not that random?
Very random. I think a lot about them, and they have a lot of background, but they're very.
About what?
I think
Ah.
background. But they are like very personal. So.
All right. Off air.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.